If you're applying for the H-1B1 visa, watch this video to get an overview of what the visa is all about and how to apply. Hi everyone, my name is Marcus and I'm an immigration attorney. Today we're going to be talking about the H-1B1 visa. So you guys have heard about the H-1B specialty occupation visa, right? So the United States has actually created a whole bunch of H-1B-like visas with multiple countries by signing different types of agreements with them. So for example, Canada and Mexico have the TN visa, Australia has the E3 visa, and Singapore and Chile has the H-1B1 visa. So the H-1B1 visa is valid for 18 months, and there is a cap. For Singaporeans is 5,400 and for Chileans is 1,400. For Singaporeans, we almost never meet the cap. We have about 1,000 people applying every single year, so it's as if we don't really have a cap. You can actually apply for the H-1B1 visa in the United States or outside of the United States in Singapore if that's what you want, but there are pros and cons to each side, as we'll talk about in the video, so you kind of want to figure out which situation and which way of applying is going to be best for you. So right now we're going to talk about the different requirements in terms of what you need to apply for the H-1B1 visa. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need when applying for the H-1B1 visa is a proper employer as well as a job offer. So a proper employer is an employer that has been around for a while. They pay taxes to the IRS, they are registered, and they are able to pay the prevailing wage rate. So the prevailing wage rate is the market rate for your position, and that's going to vary depending on whatever industry or position you are in. And it's also going to vary depending on which city or location that you are going to be in. If the company is basically a startup and they have no money, they're not a proper employer and they will not be able to sponsor your H-1B1 visa. So the second thing you need to apply for your H-1B1 visa in general is a bachelor's degree. And the reason why I say in general is because you don't always need a bachelor's degree. So for example, if you have enough work experience in the field to show that you have a specialized body of knowledge, you might still be able to apply for a H-1B1 visa. But in general, most of you are going to have bachelor's degrees, and when I mean bachelor's degree, I mean like from a 4-year accredited college showing a specialized body of knowledge, and that's what I mean by bachelor's degree. So the next thing you're going to need if you're going to apply for the H-1B1 visa is a labor certification from the Department of Labor. So a labor certification is basically a promise from the employer to the Department of Labor saying that they're not going to abuse you, the H-1B1 employee, and that they are going to pay you the prevailing wage rate. So the way this works is that the Department of Labor has a website. You just need to go in, fill in all the information about you, what kind of job it's going to be, information about the employer, and then get it certified. After it's certified, you're going to want to take that certified copy and send it to USCIS if you are applying for it within the country, or bring it to the interview if you are going for the consulate interview abroad. So the fourth thing you're going to need to prove when applying for the H-1B1 visa is that your position is a specialty occupation. So what is a specialty occupation? A specialty occupation in general basically means that your position requires at least a bachelor's degree in your specific field. How sticky they want to be when it comes to adjudicating these cases depends on whether you're in the United States or outside the United States. So if you're in the United States and you're applying before USCIS, USCIS is very, very strict that the degree must connect to the position. So for example, if you're an engineer and you have an engineering degree, great, that matches out. But if you are like, if you're running a bakery and maybe you're the CEO, but then your degree is like in the arts or something like that, that's not going to match up, and USCIS is not going to like that. However, one thing I have noticed is that if you apply abroad at the US consulate in Singapore, that they tend to be a little bit more flexible with the degree requirements. So I've noticed that if you have sort of like a degree that's generally in the field, you might still be able to get away with that. So this area is a little bit tricky in terms of like whether or not the degree matches up to the position. So you're definitely going to want to chat with like an immigration attorney, especially if you have like a really wide mismatch between the position and the degree itself. The last thing you need to know about the H-1B1 visa is that you're going to have to prove non-immigrant intent. So with the H-1B1 visa, you're going to have to show that you are going to be leaving the country after the visa period is over. In theory, you should be able to extend the visa indefinitely. In practice, if you extend it or go renew it about 3 times, they're going to start asking questions at the interview saying like, well, are you sure you actually have non-immigrant intent because you've been here 3 times and you keep wanting to extend. So it's really important for you to be able to have documentation that proves that you have ties back to Singapore or Chile, and you want to bring this documentation to the interview or submit it to USCIS if you're applying within the United States. So that's pretty much my overview on like the H1B1 visa. If you have any questions, please comment, like, and subscribe so that we can continue this conversation. And obviously let me know if there's any maybe like questions you might have with this particular visa or any other visa type so that I can make a video about it.